Hello my lovelies, welcome back to another video. My name is Gemma and today is an exciting day because I get to play Becca's bookoplathon. So for anybody that doesn't know, Becca from Becca and the Books has a TBR game called Becca's Bookopoly. She plays it every month. It's probably the most famous TBR game on BookTube. Certainly one that I watch every month because it's highly entertaining. And throughout September, she is hosting a month-long readathon called Becca's Bookoplathon. And I'm going to give it a go. So I printed out my little board. I will link Becca's announcement video below, so if you want to go and check out all the rules and see what all the different places on the board are, she explains it much better than I could ever attempt to. So I'll link that below, go check that out. So I've printed that out. I have also printed out my teeny weeny chance cards and holding them upside down, and community shelf cards. Oh, aren't they so cute? And on the back I've written prompts and book titles, so if I land on those spots on the board they are hot to trot. I am also, obviously this is only my second month of creating a TBR on BookTube. So last month I started my own TBR game, which is TBR 21’s. I'll link it above for you to go and have a little look at. I am going to run one round of that this month. The plan is to do 2 rounds every month, but because I'm doing Bookopoly as well, I'm just going to do 1. So we'll see if that's nice to me or not. But yeah, to be honest, let's just roll with it. I'm sure you'll pick it up as we go. I don't want to waffle on at you for like 10 minutes about what we're going to do. Come see. And yeah, let's get into our first roll. Okay, so hopefully my filming this month will be slightly better than last month. Oh, I wouldn't have thought it could get much worse, but here is my little board. I'm just gonna shuffle my little community shelves and my chances up so that they're a bit random. Not that, given that I wrote them yesterday, I couldn't remember what order they were in anyway, because yeah, I can't remember what I had for dinner last night. So. Okay, and I'm using this little chappy. This is Dumbo. He is out of our Disney Monopoly set, so he's going to go on there. Also, little apologies, these were the only dice that I could find. And you may think they look fine, Gemma. They look fine, yeah, except from they're obviously for some sort of Cluedo game. So if I roll a little Cluedo magnifying glass, that's actually a 1, okay? Just, you know, bear with me. Roll with me, shall we say. Okay, so roll number 1. 6. Humans. Okay, so we landed on the humans prompt. So this could be anything that features humans, as far as I'm aware, or if it's not, that's the way I'm interpreting it. So for this one, I'm going to choose Assassin's Apprentice by Rob and Hobb. I did want to try and get to this one in August because Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin and Steph from Steph Loves, if I've got that wrong, I'll put a little note here, but I'll link them both below, are doing a delayed ling-along. So for those that don't know, there is a read-along for the whole Rob and Hobb series. There's 5 series within the world, and Becca and Ashley and various other people set that up a while back. It's like halfway through, and now Gavin and Steph are going to do a delayed version for everyone who wasn't part of the original. So I was supposed to read this last month for that, and didn't because I took on too much in my first month of booktube. I got a bit excited by all the different things. That is absolutely happening again this month, not gonna lie. But yeah, so I'm gonna put it on the TBR this month so that it hopefully won't get knocked off. This one is the first in the Farseer trilogy, and all I really know is it follows a young boy called Fitz, who I believe is the son of a king or something like that, but he is not part of the royal family, and he sort of rocks up one day and he's trained to be an assassin. I'll give you a better synopsis once I've read it, but very famous, pretty much everyone's read them, so you probably all know more than me what this one is about. But yeah, excited to pick that one up. Okay, roll number 2. 7. New. I have plenty of new books because I have no self-control. Okay, so next we got new. There are so many books I could choose from this because I keep buying books. But what I'm going to go for is Flesh and Bone and Water. This is the most recent Shelterbox Book Club pick. You can see it there. I did mention this in my book hibernation blog. So it broadly follows a man who lives in London, I believe. Something happens and he has to return to his home country of Brazil, where something dodgy was happening with the maid, possibly. It's quite short, so hopefully it won't take me too long to get through. And I would also like to be part of the Shelterbox book club chat on this towards the end of September. So yeah, this is my newest book for that book club, so I'm counting it. And I mean, how lovely is that cover? Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, picking up that one for that prompt. Roll number 3. 5. Mythology, folklore, legend, fairy tale. So I did have a little scout back at an old video of Jean's from Jean's Bookish Thoughts. I'll link her below. And one came up that I'd never heard of, which was House of Names by Colm Toibin? By Colm Toibin. And this one follows Agamemnon after the war when he returns home and is killed by his wife. So I'd picked up some of this myth in Natalie Haynes' book 1,000 Ships, and it sounds like quite an interesting story. As I said, I've never heard of this particular book before, so I thought, let's give that one a go and see what it's like. I've never seen anyone review it. Jean hadn't read it. She was just talking through different books on Greek mythology. So yeah, gonna give that one a go on audio. Number 4. 7. Okay, so this is a buzzword one. Night, day, afternoon, so time of day buzzword. Oh, a buzzwordy one. So there's various options on here, but I think the general premise is a time of day. So day or night or dawn, or I guess lunchtime could be on there, but I don't know many books with lunchtime in the title. But for this, I'm going to go for one that has been massively hyped. I got it for my birthday last December and haven't picked it up yet, and I really want to. And that's The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. So midnight being the time of day. So for anyone that's been living under a rock and doesn't know what this book is about, it's about a woman who I believe tries to commit suicide, or maybe she actually commits suicide. I'm not entirely sure, so trigger warnings for that. And she goes to this sort of in-between place, which is a library, and she can pull out different books and look back at her life had she made different decisions. So it sounds intriguing. Definitely keen to pick it up because it has had a lot of good reviews. Not all good reviews, but a lot of good reviews, and I've been wanting to pick it up
for the best part of a year. So this is the ideal time to put it on my TBR. So it's going on.
Hey, and what's been a relatively kind game, our last roll, 9. LGBTQ plus rep.
Okay, so LGBTQ plus rep. I have a few options for this, but the one that I've been wanting to get to since it went on Simon Savage's best books of the year last year is Life as a Unicorn by Amrrou Al-Kahdi. So this one is non-fiction, it's a memoir, and it's about Amrrou's life as a gay Muslim drag queen. It's supposed to be funny in places. Obviously there's going to be tension within it as well. Joanna Lumley said astonishingly brave and engaging. And doesn't everyone love Joanna Lumley? So yeah, gonna pick this one up for that prompt.
Okay, so just one round this month due to bookopoly. So let's hope it's not too mean to us, shall we? Okay. So pool number 1. 8 of diamonds.
Okay, so the first pick for TBR 21's is an award winner on my Kindle. Again, which we pulled last month. I can assure you I did shuffle them. I did. Clearly, it's just not something I'm very good at. So, there we go. However, this is not a problem because I am going to pick up for this Love After Love by Ingrid Persaud. This one was on GK Reads, Grace at GK Reads best books of last year, I think. It also won the Costa Award last year, and this is Caribbean fiction. To be honest, I don't know much more than that. I think it's set in Trinidad. I think it covers obviously love, loss, grief. I think there may be some elements of abuse in this. For those of you that saw my wrap up last month, you'll have seen that I read how the one-armed sister sweeps her house, which didn't quite give me what I wanted. So maybe this will be the book that I thought that was going to be. Maybe. But yeah, we're going to pick that one up for this prompt.
We're going to pull again, obviously. 2 of diamonds. So this is another Kindle book, this time something translated.
Right, so a translated book on my Kindle. There are plenty of these to choose from as well, but one that I've been meaning to get to for ages is Before the Coffee Goes Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This one is translated from the Japanese and is set in a little cafe where people can travel back in time until their coffee goes cold and then they come back to the present time. So yeah, sounds really interesting. It's quite a small book, so it'll be interesting to see how much they pack into that and whether it is, because it sounds quite plotty, so it'd be interesting to see if there's character development in there as well. So yeah, gonna pick that one up for translated book.
And look at that, Stop the Bus. That is 21. Perfect. Another Kindle book, but this time it's wild, so I can choose any book I like.
Okay, 21. God, smash and knife, no doubles and no intimidating jar. Just, yeah. September isn't being too mean to me, which is good considering I have taken on the world. We're going to talk about G's Magic Readathon in just a minute. But for this one, I pulled a wild card so I can read whatever I And for this, I'm going to read In the Woods by Tana French. Again, this was a read-along book that I wanted to read in August, but because I wasn't organised when I did my TBR last month, I didn't really think about it. So Grace at GK Reads is doing a read-along for this series, the Dublin Murder Squad series by Tana French. In the Woods was the first one that was supposed to be read in July and August. Obviously, we're pretty much in September now, and I haven't picked it up. So I will pick that up this month, and then the second one, I don't know what it's called, but the second book in the series is to be read September, October. So if I read In the Woods this month, I can read the second one next month and catch up. So yeah, so that is the last book to go on my TBR. Okay, so I got all the way to the end of my video before I realised that I didn't actually update you on how I did in last month's TBR. So I'm going to film it now and try and slot it in somewhere. So if it looks really badly edited, that's why. So last month I started my new TBR game, TBR 21’s. So I'll run through very quickly what I pulled, the books that I chose, and whether I've read them or not. I will wrap them up properly in my wrap up, which will be out next week. Okay, so first I pulled 5 of Diamonds, which is a series, a part of a series to read on my Kindle. So this I chose Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. Did I get to it? Am I likely to get to it before the end of the month? I am still really keen to read this one. So hopefully it will go back on the TBR at some point. But yeah, failed. Next, I picked a classic to read on my Kindle. For this, I chose Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. And I have read this one. Woohoo! So yeah, happy days. 1 out of 6. Next, I pulled an 8 of Diamonds, which is an award winner on my Kindle. Technically, I haven't started it yet, but it is my next read, and I'm filming this slightly early because I'm on holiday next week. So I am anticipating to, if not have finished it, be a reasonable chunk of the way through. And sorry, for this I chose An American Marriage by T.R.E. Jones. So yeah, so this one will be ticked by the time we get to the end of the month, or at least mostly ticked. So then I went bust and I had to pick from my intimidating reads jar, and Cloud Atlas came up by David Mitchell. Have I started it yet? No. But I have very nearly finished the other physical book that I'm reading, and this will be the next one I pick up. So I will have started it. I won't finish it by the end of the month, but I will have started it. So I'm counting it as done, or at least started. So yeah, so I will get to this before the end of the month. And then last up was a physical book and a new release. So for that I chose Transcendent Kingdom by Yaa Gyasi, and I have read this. Woo, 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 woo. So yes, I have read this, so this will be wrapped up for you next week. So all in all, not too bad. 5 out of 6, though definitely one of them won't be finished, possibly 2, but I'm still counting it as a mild success. And I did get very distracted by other things like Book Hibernation and Women in Translation Month. But yeah, it is a learning game, and I will try and get a bit more organised when setting my TBRs so that some of the books I have to read are for other things that are included. But yeah, let's crack on with the next part of the video. Hello, Editing Gemma here. Apologies, I also missed another book out. I clearly wasn't firing on all cylinders when I filmed this. So I also pulled a double wild card, which I was going to read Land of Big Numbers on audio for. Unfortunately, that book is not available on Audible, so I changed that up, and instead I read Beneath a Scarlet Sky by Mark Sullivan. Apologies, because I probably should have checked before I mentioned it in a video. But yeah, I have nearly finished that. I've got less than 3 hours on audio, so it will be finished by the end of the month, taking us to 5 out of 6. So there is also another readathon going on in September that I want to take part in, and that's G from Book Roast's Magic Reads Readathon. I'll link her details below. And it is quite a massive undertaking for G. She's done loads of background stuff. She's created a huge backstory, and the readathon will continue in April. So this is like the setup part of the readathon, and it's just, yeah, very well done. And of course I want to take part. Luckily it's not too onerous for September. You just have to read 2 books from the 7 like map locations. Obviously if you can read more, then do. So that's what you have to do for September, and then there's some prompts to decide like what species you are, what city you live in, and what kind of magic you have, or something like that, which you can do between now and the April readathon starting. So there's a bit of flex in there, and I will probably be using that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together another video outlining potential books for all of the prompts that are in the September portion. I shall also indicate which of the species and towns and stuff I think I'm going to go for, and I will probably try and do those in October as a separate little project. And yeah, so I'll have a separate video for that coming up. It will probably be towards the end of the first week of September now, because all these new readathons that have come out have completely messed with my schedule and it makes my brain hurt. So I'm trying to jam them in where I can, but that one's probably going to be a little bit into the September readathon. I hope that made sense. It's been a stressful morning because I had to go food shopping with the kids. Mate, it was hard work. And that's also why I look a bit like a scarecrow today, but you know, we'll just roll with it, roll with the punches. So yeah, so those are the books going on my TBR. So we've got 4 physical books here, plus how many on Kindle? 3 on Kindle and an audiobook. Is that ambitious? Yes it is. Do we care? No we don't. So yeah, I will let you know how I get on with all of these at the end of September. Okay, thanks guys, bye.